How's it going, everyone? And welcome to my breathtaking, okay, maybe not that breathtaking impressions of E3 2019. This is only going to cover the press conferences. I know E3 is kind of still going on. They're doing the whole expo thing, but I figure all the important stuff is really over if you think about it. There's no Sony press conference this year, unfortunately, which I think they really miss out on because everyone else has a press conference, but not Sony, which is stupid. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're working on. Probably something to do with the PS5, but well, we won't know until they give us more information. But starting off with Microsoft, their press conference. Um, First off, the Xbox Project Scarlet, their new console, comes out next holiday 2020. So probably like November 2020. That's when most consoles come out, is in the November month. So it's probably going to come out like a year before PS5. So that's a pretty big deal. More people might get the Xbox Scarlet than the PS5. And depending on what the PS5 offers, I might actually choose Xbox over PS5 this generation because Microsoft promises that the Project Scarlet will be full backwards compatibility. No half-ass like they did with the last two Xboxes where you can only play the most popular Xbox games. It's like, yeah, it's cool I can play every Halo and Forza game, but what about Deus Ex Invisible War or something more obscure? Um, if they can really do full backwards compatibility all the way with every Xbox One game, every 360 game, every original Xbox game, every Xbox Live Arcade game, every DLC that you've ever bought for that game, if they can cover all of that in one console, I might get it. Okay? And this is coming from someone who's a PlayStation guy. Um, because if PS5 doesn't offer backwards compatibility, because they're not known for backwards compatibility, I hate to admit it, but it's true. Um, I mean, PS5, I think the deciding factor for me at this point, if we're talking about which console I'd rather get first, I think it really depends on the exclusives. Um, if Xbox doesn't give us more interesting exclusives than what they have already offered for years, then I might actually just still stick with PS5 because I have every other PS console. So I don't really need to worry about backwards compatibility when it comes to PlayStation, but a lot of people do, you know. So it's going to have full backwards compatibility, which is really awesome. Um, 8K streaming. I'm not a big streamer guy. I don't stream, period. And it's going to come with a disk drive. I was actually afraid that it wasn't going to come with a disk drive because they recently did an Xbox One all digital edition console that was like $250, which actually sounds like a ripoff when you can get one with the disk drive for like $50 more. Um, it looks promising. It doesn't look that bad. Their launch title is Halo Infinite, which I'm not too excited for. I don't really care about Halo at all at this point. You know, their peak was a long time ago. Um, and also graphically, it doesn't even look as good as most PS4 exclusives. So if they're trying to showcase the Xbox Scarlet's graphical capability, they're not really doing a great job at it. Gears of War 5, which comes out in September 10th, the graphics in that game on Xbox One look better than whatever they're playing Halo Infinite on. Um, I'm not particularly excited about either of these games. Halo and Gears, they are the juggernauts of the Xbox brand. Um, I'm just not, I don't know, I mean, I get tired of those games, you know, I mean, they're not bad, but I'm not really interested, you know. I think both series should have ended quite a while ago. Um, and they're just kind of cash grabbing everything at this point. So yeah, like I said, Xbox Scarlet looks cool. Has a lot of promising features. Needs more interesting exclusives though. Be awesome if someone came out with like a Condemned 3 or an Alan Wake 2 or some shit, something really badass. Left 4 Dead 3 maybe. For me to get more excited to actually own it. Um, I they have a new Forza Motorsport. I think Forza Motorsport 8 is in development. I believe. I don't know. I'd have to check. But they have like a new Lego expansion for Forza Horizon 4. Actually looks pretty fun, you know. Um, you know, I mean, it looks fun, but I don't know. Now, because there was no Sony press conference, they kind of combined all like the third-party games into the Microsoft um, press conference. The game I am looking forward to the most out of any other game, period, in development, is Cyberpunk 2077. I was excited for this game when it was very first announced. I'm even more excited about it because Keanu Reeves is in it, and he made a really surprising appearance at the presentation. Looks like John Wick, and it looks fucking awesome. It just looks so kick-ass, man. I can't wait for Cyberpunk 2077. That comes out April 16th. I might as well pre-order that. And then, of course, we have Dying Light 2, Dead Island 2, which, why would I play Dead Island 2 if I can just play Dying Light 2? Dying Light is, in my opinion, a lot better than Dead Island. We have a new Minecraft game. It's Minecraft Dungeons. I'm actually a Minecraft fan. Call me a child, I don't give a shit. I enjoy Minecraft. It's something I play when I'm in the mood for something light or want to create something. It's going to be like a dungeon crawler, kind of like, it's like Minecraft meets Diablo. It's going to have that kind of loot system, the combat system of Diablo. Supposed to come out in the spring. Something to kind of keep an eye on, you know. I like Minecraft, and I like Diablo, so chances are I'll probably like Minecraft Dungeons. The Outer Worlds got a October 25th release date. That's like the biggest anticipated RPG of this year, you know. That's like this year's Fallout or Elder Scrolls. It's kind of like the biggest game that's coming out. Hopefully it turns out pretty well. If it's buggy, I'm going to wait for a price drop, and if not, I'll probably get it. Also comes out the same day as Modern Warfare, which I also think looks really awesome because it looks like they're rebooting the entire franchise to make it more dark, serious, and realistic. They're going to ditch zombies. You know what? I'm in support of that. Even though the title is stupid because there's already been a Modern Warfare, I feel like a reboot is an appropriate way to shift gears in the Call of Duty formula that they needed years ago. Now moving on to Bethesda. I thought Microsoft press conference was a little meh, but Bethesda just straight up sucked. Bethesda's was just nothing but fucking mobile this and mobile that, and some DLCs. There's a DLC coming out for Rage 2, which I really don't give a shit about. There's only 2 games that kind of save it, but not really. Because one of them we already knew was coming. Doom Eternal comes out November 22nd. Looks badass as fuck, and I'm most likely gonna get that. Yeah. Doom Eternal is like a guaranteed good game. I don't think there's ever been a bad Doom game, period. So, um, looks like it's gonna have like new monsters too. And I think I even saw very briefly on a Rochnotron. It's like those spiders that shoot plasma. There hasn't been one of those since, I don't know, Doom 2 or Final Doom or Doom 64. I don't know, it's been decades. Um, and Doom Eternal is technically supposedly like a remake of Doom 2 Hell on Earth, so I'm pumped for that. There is one other game that they announced. It's by the same guys who made the Evil Within games. It's called Ghostwire Tokyo, and I think it's directed by Shinji Mikami. I don't know anything about it. It looks like it's going to be a pretty unique sci-fi fucking mosquito sci-fi horror game. Um, it just showed a bunch of people like disappear into thin air and their clothes just like fall on the ground. Look kind of fucked up, and I'm gonna keep an eye out on that one. It might be good, it might be shit, who knows. Ubisoft was the worst press conference this year. Ubisoft was worse than bad. Um, Everyone, including myself, were disappointed that there's no Splinter Cell coming. But not only that, they put Sam Fisher in some stupid mobile fighting game that nobody fucking cares about. Um, so they didn't announce a new Splinter Cell. They didn't announce. They didn't even announce like a new Assassin's Creed that Viking game they're working on. It's gonna be an Assassin's Creed game set in the Viking era. They did announce a new Watch Dogs Legion, which is the third one. Um, I'm not too excited. I mean, Watch Dogs games are good, but they're never on anyone's priority. I mean, really. I mean, Watch Dogs 1 is considered it's a disappointment. Watch Dogs 2 is considered a little better, but didn't sell well. So who knows where Watch Dogs Legion will end up. Rainbow Six Quarantine got announced, which actually does look fucking mosquitoes, man. I swear to God, every time I try making an E3 video, something happens. From helicopters flying over me to mosquitoes eating me and giving me diseases. Or anyway, Rainbow Six Quarantine. The trailer was like a horror game. It was like you hiding in the corner of a dark room that looked like it was inside a cargo ship or something. You could hear like screechings of some creature or entity. And if that's true, it's probably I think it's like the first Tom Clancy game that might actually have like something supernatural or whatever. Um, I'm not a big Rainbow Six fan. I do have Siege, which I wasn't a big fan of only because of how bad the community is, and they just it's got friendly fire, so they fucking shoot me, you know, really. Um, not a Rainbow Six fan, but it looks, I don't know, man. I need more. I need more to go on. Like, give me gameplay. Give me gameplay of it. There's Ghost Recon Breakpoint that's coming out in October, but it looks kind of more of the same of Wildlands. Ubisoft, man, it's just more of the same shit, you know. And unless they can reboot Splinter Cell, man, they don't mean anything to me, you know. Whatever they do, they just do more of the same of. Um, Square Enix. Better than Bethesda and Ubisoft. Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out in March. It looks good, except for the fact that it's not turn-based. You know, it's more like, you know, Final Fantasy 15's hack and slash gameplay, which I want Final Fantasy to just go back to the roots, you know. I like turn-based. If it still works for Persona, then why can't it still work for Final Fantasy? And also, I hear that they're gonna release it in episodes like a Telltale game. It's fucking stupid. It'd be one thing if the story was like separated in chapters or acts throughout, an open world game, but to have it episodically, what are you doing? The fuck are you doing, man? So, I mean, on one hand, it does look good. On another hand, it doesn't. Um, so, I'm cross my fingers with that one. Um, but the thing that saved Square Enix's press conference, the one thing that made it better than Ubisoft and Bethesda was the Avengers game, which looks fucking phenomenal, man. That already has a release date of May 15th. I'll wait 11 more months. Jesus fucking Christ. But man, it looks phenomenal. If that's like my second highest, most anticipated game of 2020 after Cyberpunk. Um, the Avengers looks amazing. You get to play as Captain America, the Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, and Iron Man. That's badass. And the game it looks like they interpreted some gameplay in there, and it looks phenomenal. Might actually be the best superhero game ever made. Hopefully it is. And I know nothing is hotter than the Avengers right now. Nothing. So it's probably going to end up being like the best selling superhero game of all time too. Speaking of superhero games, Rocksteady, I think Rocksteady is in development of a DC game, so hopefully maybe that's like Superman or something. Superman or maybe like Green Lantern. We don't know yet. It's unannounced. But Rocksteady is supposedly making another game. My fucking hand is getting tired because I'm holding this up with my hand, and having it in the same place for 15 minutes straight is not good. Nintendo, my relationship with Nintendo is it's very distant. It's been like 10 years since I've invested time into Nintendo games, I think like the last Nintendo game I played through thoroughly was like Super Mario Galaxy 1. Like way back in 2007 or 2008, and like Mario Kart Wii. I have a Wii U, I have a handful of games on it, I haven't even touched it yet. I've just been too busy with Xbox and PlayStation, 2007, I got an Xbox 360, a few years after that I got a PS3, a few years after that I got a PS4, and a couple years after that I got an Xbox One. So my lifetime with Nintendo just diminished. But they're doing a great job, Nintendo Switch is probably the best console this generation. And it's the one I don't have. They are making a new Zelda game. It's a Zelda sequel to Breath of the Wild, which is great. Zelda is awesome. Always. That's the right word for it. Always cool. No, not always, but most of the time. Zelda is mostly a good series. The thing I'm mostly excited for, though, is that they're remaking Link's Awakening from the Game Boy. So that should be cool. That might actually be the thing that gets me to buy a Nintendo console, Switch or a DS or whatever the hell that's going to be on. I might get it. Luigi's Mansion 3, I never played a Luigi's Mansion game before. I know it has plenty of fans though, and I'm pretty sure that will do well. So overall, I think Nintendo might actually have the best press conference. They got new Zelda, they got a new Luigi's Mansion. They announced several different ports, including The Witcher 3. So they got that down, and I think they had some Super Mario Maker in there. So all in all, Nintendo did a pretty good job. They didn't have the most exciting games, but overall, I feel like their press conference was the best of the bunch. It just sucks that Sony didn't have one, I mean, what about Neo 2? What about Ghost of Tsushima? I know Death Stranding comes out in November, but I mean, there's a lot of PS4 exclusives coming out that they really should have had a press conference. You know, out of all three consoles, they probably have the most exclusive wise. Um, they had a PC press conference, which I completely ignored because I don't play PC games, man. I know, I know. I'm a peasant. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? But I don't know. There are a few more things. You know, Borderlands 3 comes out in September. Titanfall 3 is in development. Battlefield 6. Star Wars Jedi Fallen is a single player because we all know EA. Um, Star Wars game coming out in November. I have my doubts just because it's fucking EA and they have their hands so far up of, you know, whose ever ass they own that they monetize the shit out of everything. So wouldn't be surprised if that single player game is revolved around microtransactions. I mean, hopefully it'll be good, but I doubt it. Um, but surprise me, you know, surprise me, please. And of course, we got Baldur's Gate 3 coming out and remasters of the older ones. We also have a remaster of the original Torment game, Planescape. I didn't like Tides of Numenera, but I hear Planescape is supposed to be amazing. Yeah, guys, that's about it. Wow, this video went on way too long, man. I didn't know. So yeah, the winner, I'm actually going to give two winners of the Gamer Gods Fail for Best of E3. Cyberpunk 2077 and The Avengers. Those are the two best games shown at E3. Hope you guys enjoyed my show.